Hello everyone, this is CJ Novo 992 and today we are back for another brand new video. Today's video, I am so happy to be saying the prediction Ons are back. Like, I know I touched on this in yesterday's fan recap of the Oxford friendly, but I'm just delighted that the football is finally back, and once again for the third year in a row, me and thee are on the journey together. But before we dive in and start breaking down the Rangers team and announcing who's been submitted for the European squad for the first round, let's actually take the reins back a little bit and look at our opponent, because I don't know if you were like me, but I didn't know too much about them. And when I say I didn't know much about them, if I'm being honest with you, and I don't mean any disrespect, I never even knew the team existed. But I've been here before, I've been sat here talking about a team I never heard of, expecting to absolutely go over there and steamroll them, and it came back and to slap me in my stupid face. So I don't know how you're feeling, but I've learned my lesson, and I'm certainly not going into this game underestimating St. Joseph's. So continuing with our focus on St. Joseph for this part of the video, let's have a wee look at them and how they performed last season. Now obviously they're from Gibraltar and they finished third in the Gibraltar Premier League. I believe that's the way that they call their overall setup. Now they finished with 55 points, which I rate. Pretty staunch that, St. Joseph. Pretty staunch. And since the teams was announced that it was Rangers versus St. Joseph once they won the previous tie, I've tried to focus in and have a look at their squad and their manager. And the one thing that I've been able to find pretty consistently is how confident they are that they'll be able to cause a shock and inspire a result at home versus Rangers. Especially the manager, he's talking them up quite hefty, especially at home where they seem to be a different animal. Now we've seen interesting battles with managers, especially in the Europa League last season. Now he's not quite at that level, but he's pretty damn confident in his players. And I think their confidence took another massive step up when they won the last round, because they obviously done the first leg where it was 1-1, where they scored a very important away goal, but then at home managed to come away and win 2-0 versus a team that was heavy favourites to smash them off the park. Now I'm not sitting here saying they're absolute world beaters and they're going to smash us on and off the park. I'm not saying that at all. All I'm saying is, from what I've been able to find when I've been looking at this squad, is they seem to be a very solid outfit who has a tremendous team spirit. I mean, they will and truly dig in and fight for each other, and that showed that in the last leg. And the last thing I would like to speak about regarding St. Joseph before we turn our attention to Rangers is the fact that they play on a plastic pitch. Now I know some of you guys are like me and you absolutely hate plastic pitches, but on the flip side of that, I know so many guys just hate the plastic pitch argument. You didn't understand it, you didn't agree with it, and that's completely fine. It's all about opinions. But just from my own personal point of view, I genuinely believe the plastic pitch will play a massive part in the first leg versus St. Joseph, because I think back to even last season, we just seem to struggle consistently throughout the entire 90 minutes on a plastic park. Whether it was Kilmarnock, Livingston or Hamilton, we never really hit a 10 out of 10 on any plastic surface last year. And not only do I think it's going to affect the overall performance, but I also think it's going to affect the way that Steven Gerrard picks his starting 11, because this is the first official game of the season and on a plastic surface. And I'm trying not to be wide here, but it's a bit of a state. It's not the best plastic park I've ever seen. It's going to be very interesting to see the way we set up. But that's enough about St. Joseph's. Let's turn our attentions to Rangers then, shall we? Now, obviously we just played that Oxford game and we looked brilliant. I mean, again, it wasn't a 10 out of 10 performance, but there were some genuine moments of quality there, and it looks like we are well and truly ready for this game. I mean, if you want to compare the both teams and how they're prepared for this game, obviously St. Joseph has played more competitive matches going into this, so they might have the slight edge regarding match fitness. But again, based on what I just saw on Sunday versus Oxford, I think Rangers are well and truly ready. The pre-season, the hard work that Gerrard and the coaches have put in seems to have paid off already. Now regarding the Rangers squad that's been submitted for the first and second leg versus St. Joseph, I'll actually throw up on the top left hand side just then. You can see all the names rather than me reading every single one out and making this video about 20 minutes long. I'll throw up there, so I want to know what your reactions and opinions are regarding the players that Rangers have put forward for the first leg of the qualifying for the Europa League. It's also worth noting, by the way, that Josh McPake, Dapo, Mayo and some of the other younger boys, maybe even Kelly and stuff like that, are also able to play in the game, even though they're not submitted because of their age and the fact that they're classed as homegrown talent. Now that's the kind of preview of the game. Now let's dive into some injury news, because believe it or not, there is a couple of things to give you an update already at the start of the season. Starting off with the very first one, it is none other than Alfredo frickin' Morelos. Now he missed the Oxford game because of a slight issue with his groin, but he has travelled with the squad. Again, it's rumoured that he will play a part in the game tomorrow, whether that's starting or coming off from the bench. But all I will say is, see if he's got a little niggle and a little bit of a knock. Is it not best maybe just to rest Alfredo Morelos? Because if he wasn't able to play 2 days ago, why do we rush him back to play on a plastic park? I mean, Greg Stewart excelled in that game versus Oxford. Then you've got the deadly Jermaine Defoe, who spent the entire pre-season, and even before that, when everyone else was away on holiday and stuff like that, he was just doing laps and making sure he was 110% for the season ahead. I would personally go with Jermaine Defoe, and I wouldn't risk pulling Alfredo Morelos in just in case he further injures himself, because he could play a massive part in where we end in the season. And the second injury that we need to give you an update on is John Flanagan, who's obviously undergoing surgery regarding a hernia, so he's going to be out for about 3 to 4 weeks. That's what it's currently been scheduled at, before Flanny Alves is back in the mixer. And the last one we're going to speak about, I don't know if you can necessarily class this as an injury, but for me personally, I think it's because of injury reasons. You're looking at Jamie Murphy has been left in Glasgow, but it's not because he's getting pushed out or anything like that. They've actually arranged for him a friendly match so he can continue his match development and obviously get closer to full match fitness, because the guy went through injury hell last year. We all know the story. It was absolutely devastating for him because he started the season brilliantly, so he's continuing his journey back to the starting 11, and while the players are travelling abroad to sort of play in European football and get their match fitness that way, arranging the friendly keeps Jamie Murphy ticking along nicely while the others are playing in European football, which is actually brilliant management, I personally believe, from Steven Gerrard. And honestly, I know there's so much excitement regarding Ojo. Jake Hasty looked brilliant versus Oxford. Jordan Jones still to come on his own because he was only given a shorter period of time than the rest of them, but I still honestly believe Jamie Murphy will play a vital part for 55 next year. And with that being said, we've looked at the teams, we've looked at St Joseph, I've tried to give you a wee bit more information about the team itself, and we've also reflected back on the injury list as well. So now that you know everything there is to know for the upcoming game versus St Joseph, what is your thoughts, what are your predictions? It's time to start off with a bang, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and I'm taking this year seriously. I know he's hammer me every year, but this is it, me versus they. I'm coming for you. And because I read every single comment that does get posted on this YouTube channel, I'm going to start paying attention to see if we can crown a winner at the end of the season as well, because that'd be pretty fun and interesting to see who's getting them right week in and week out. So get your thoughts and opinions out there, and while you're doing that, I will give you my prediction on. I think it's going to be a hard fought battling performance on a plastic pitch. I don't think it's going to be 6 or 7-0 that I know so many are hoping. I mean, I would love a 7-0, I'll take one, but I believe they're going to sit back. I believe that they're going to make it difficult, and I believe that Rangers were going to have to work for the first goal, and then when the first goal sort of goes in, you sort of see what I'm saying here, maybe it opens the door for a second goal, and I believe we'll kill off the tie with the third goal as well. That's right, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, my first prediction of the season is 3-0 to the Glasgow Rangers. And for my goal scorers in the game in no particular order, Greg Stewart, Jermaine Defoe, and the man, Ojo. Was that meant? No. Am I happy that it rhymed? Yes. And now that we've had our say, let's jump over to Twitter and hear from the people. Loading it up, there's been 1,252 votes. Thank you so much for getting involved. 3% votes for the draw, 5% votes for St Joseph's. We're going to have a talk. But the far and away winner with 992% of the votes, it's 92. I tried to make something happen there, and then I felt guilty once I done it because it's pure cheese. Let's spin it back. With 92% of the votes is Rangers. Now, it's time to hear what the people's had to say. Peter Ramsey writes in 3-0. Defoe, Jack Tav. Roy O'Neill also writes in 3-0. Goes from Defoe, Ojo and Scotty Arfield. Adam also writes in 3-0. But he also writes a Candeas hat-trick. You know he's not been picked. Come on now, Adam. Come on. The legendary Bob Steele writes in, I see St Joseph as being a similar level to Oxford, but given their home advantage tomorrow, I would take a 2-0, then a similar result in the Oxford match at Ibrox in the second leg. I see what you're saying, man. Curtis also writes in 3-0. 3-0 seems to be a popular scoreline. We're all feeling it. He goes with Ojo and a Morelos dirty double. Mark Kelly writes in 4-0. to Rangers. Andrew Wilson writes 2-0 Rangers, Morelos and Greg Stewart to score. Who'd have thought we'd been predicting that a year ago? Scott Young says 15-0. Cause? Why no? Why no indeed, Scott. Ross Henderson writes in 3-0 again, Defoe and Ojo. Dirty Ojo double. A man just called 1872_C writes in another 3-0 win. Jones, Defoe and Arabo. It seems to be a very, very popular scoreline. And the last 2 or 3 that we actually did, it will scroll a wee bit down towards the bottom to give everyone a chance. Ross Noble writes in 3-0 Rangers, who even are St Joseph's. Don't do it, Ross. And for the last one, we'll scroll up, we'll scroll down, and we'll stop it right here. And it comes from William McNeil, and he writes in 5-0 to the famous, Fredo to score 2, Stewart to score 2, and Jordan Jones to score 1. I would love to see Jordan grab his first goal just like Greg Stewart and just sort of get that weight off his back so he can focus on Dane Hings for the Glasgow Rangers. But that's it, that's going to be the end of today's video and the end of the first prediction on. You've heard from the people, you've heard from myself. If you haven't done so already, get your thoughts and opinions out there in the comment section below. Massive shout out to the absolute legends on the Patreon's account for their continued support on the channel. If you'd like to support it, it's down there in the description below. I've been CJ Novo92. Thank you so much for watching, and bye.